Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 9, and we will be reporting two prominent artworks, which is the painting Girl at Mirror by Norman Rockwell and the poem Mirror by Sylvia Plath.
Now let us begin with the painting The Girl at Mirror. So The Girl at Mirror is a painting in the regionalism style created by Norman Rockwell. The medium used is all-in canvas with a dimension of 31.5 by 29.5 inches. The painting was made as a cover of the March 6, 1954 issue of the Saturday Evening Post, which is one of the oldest magazines in the United States. This was Rockwell's 281st out of 322 total paintings for the said post, which became an essential for anyone who wishes to remain updated on issues about the reality about culture, politics, and economy in America. So now let us analyze the painting using the four planes of analysis. So the painting Girl at Mirror depicts a young girl reflecting on her life's transition from being a girl to a young woman. The color of her dress is white, which mirrors her innocence. The doll in the corner of the mirror, whose position appears to have been disregarded, and the very red lips with scattered lipstick, comb, and makeup on the floor indicate the childhood that is about to be left as a girl embraces a new chapter of her life, or the transition from being a girl to being a young woman. The mirror propped with a chair simply shows the girl's reflection. Besides that is the image of a woman in the magazine on her lap, which suggests that the girl looked at it before looking in the mirror. And after seeing the woman's face in the magazine, the girl's hands in her face and her worried expression indicate that as she looks and observes her face, her doubt or uneasiness as she contemplates on what she will look like as she grows emerges.
In this context, the girl tried to imitate the makeup, the hair, and the pose in the magazine, displaying the great influence of traditional media not only on adults but as well as to the young girls. Around the 1950s, a number of successful superstars were idolized by the public for their talents, vanity, and most especially their beauty, and they can be seen in the movies and in the covers of the magazines. One prominent actress at that time was Marilyn Monroe. The image of the woman in the magazine is not Marilyn Monroe, but her co-actress in the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Jane Russell, who is an equally sophisticated woman. Nonetheless, despite her beautification, the girl appears to be sad, worried, lost, and faced with a difficult decision. She may be looking in the mirror for reasons other than checking her makeup. With that and evaluating that, we get a sense of reality that there is difficulty and challenge of being caught between childhood and womanhood while trying to figure out oneself. Moving on to the second artwork, in 1961, Sylvia Plath wrote the poem Mirror. It was originally published in the New Yorker magazine on August 3, 1963, just a few months after Plath's death in February of that same year. Sylvia Plath's Mirror is one of the best poems of the 20th century American literature. It is written in a free verse with only two unrhymed 9-line verse paragraphs, also known as paragraphs. The poem's theme is the reality of the aging process. The poem's speaker is a mirror, who describes its role as the reflector of truth. The mirror dramatizes its own skill in reflecting whatever is placed before it exactly as the object is. In the poem, the woman who looks in the mirror hopes to use it as a tool of self-reflection, but the mirror can only show what she looks like.
Now let's compare the painting Girl at Mirror and the poem Mirror. The opening line of the poem describes a mirror, and the painting echoes that description. This demonstrates the mirror's objectivity, since it can only reflect what it observes. The mirror calls itself the eye of a little god, because like a god, it sees everything as it is. It displays clear and precise images and has no preconceptions. It is silver and perfect, and does not throw up distorted reflections that are misted by love or dislike. That is, reflections that are influenced by feelings. Rather, it just reflects whatever is in front of it. Perhaps because women in particular are so frequently expected to adhere to strict beauty standards and youth. That's why we are sometimes conscious of how we look or what we are supposed to be. We have all been in her situation, attempting to see our potential future selves in the mirror. Each of us has pondered how to get from here to wherever we want to be. Despite her efforts to look further into the lake-like mirror, the woman is only able to glimpse a surface-level reflection of herself. This suggests that even though the woman wants to learn more about herself, appearances can only reveal so much about her. The woman's appearance may appear to be objectively represented in the mirror, but it will never be able to properly convey who she is as a person. After all, there's a lot more to people than meets the eye. On a somewhat different level, the mirror indirectly references the unjust and unrealistic expectations that patriarchal society places on women. The pressure the woman feels to look a specific way may be represented by the mirror since it enables her to closely examine herself. Similar to the young girl who appears to be under pressure from the magazine's definition of beauty. The risk of obsessing over one's appearance and the damaging effects of societal expectations that are misogynistic are thus represented by the mirror. The poem and the painting both deal with the same issue, that some women have a tendency to alter certain aspects of themselves in order to live up to others' expectations of them. The little girl, who wants to be that woman she sees in the magazine, tried things that are not commonly used by people her age and discarded a doll, which meant abandoning her innocent, youthful nature. And the woman in the poem, seeing herself growing older and older in the mirror each day, and despises becoming older and losing her beauty and youth, which is two significant social currencies for women living in a male-dominated society.
The theme of the girl at mirror painting conveys the message that a woman's transition from being a child to a young woman isn't that easy, and as we grow up, changes are always there. Most of the time, women are pressured by the standards of the society. Hence, some are afraid to look old, and that as they grow, they tend to worry a lot about the physical changes. However, it is essential to note that what matters most is one is being true to herself, and there is no need for her to compare herself to others.
The theme of the poem Mirror describes a woman seeing herself grow older and older in a mirror every day. Or more accurately, a personified mirror watching as the woman's youth fades. In my life, I always look myself in the mirror, and for years I have witnessed various changes, particularly in my body. And as much as I resent such changes, as well as getting older, I cannot convince myself otherwise of pausing the time, because whatever I see in the mirror is only the truth with no preconception. If only I could stay in my youth forever, I would. But there is still beauty in aging, because it shows how I've embraced all that life has to offer.